Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at, well, a really famous passage, 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
Ah, yes, the love chapter.
Hmm.
But, it's maybe more challenging than people often think.
Definitely. It's not just nice words for a wedding. It really redefines what's truly important, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It forces a hard look at our actions, our gifts, even our spiritual highs, all through this one lens.
Love.
Okay, let's get into it because it starts strong. The first verses basically say you could have these amazing abilities, speaking in tongues, prophecy, all knowledge.
Right, even faith to move mountains, things we'd normally see as peak spirituality.
Exactly. Or, giving everything away, even sacrificing your life.
Yeah.
And if love isn't there,
You're nothing. It gains you nothing. That's the start claim.
it uses that phrase about our sounding gong or a clanging cymbal.
Yeah, just noise, all
Yeah.
that effort, all that supposed spiritual power, just meaningless noise without love driving it. It's quite countercultural. So it's digging deeper than just the outward act. It's about the core reason, the motivation.
Precisely. If love isn't the root, the text says it has no real lasting value. Certainly not for the person doing it. It shifts the focus from performance.
To the heart, to how we actually are with each other.
Exactly. Which brings us to the next part, right? If love is that important, what is it?
Yeah, and it doesn't just give a vague definition, it gives actions, characteristics.
Super practical.
Yeah.
It starts with what love is.
Mm.
Patient and kind. Simple words, but
God.
hard to live out consistently.
And then a whole list of what it isn't. Love doesn't envy, doesn't boast, isn't proud,
Isn't rude, isn't self-seeking.
isn't easily angered. Ooh. And this one keeps no record of wrongs.
Yeah, that one always stands out. So easy to hold on to stuff, isn't it?
Totally.
And it continues, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It's describing a very active, others-focused way of being. Often the opposite of our first instinct.
Okay, so it defines love by what it does and doesn't do. Then it talks about its strength, its
Yeah.
permanence.
Right. It says love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And crucially, love never fails. It endures.
But those other things, the impressive gifts like prophecy, tongues, even knowledge.
They cease. They pass away. That's the contrast.
Why? What's a reason given?
Because, it says, we know in part, or we prophesy in part, our current understanding, our gifts, they're incomplete, limited.
Like temporary tools for a temporary situation.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
The text says, when perfection comes, the imperfect disappears. There's a future state where these partial things aren't needed anymore.
It uses that analogy, childhood versus adulthood.
Yeah, when I was a child, I thought like a child, reasoned like a child. When I grew up, I put away childish things. Our current state is like the childhood phase.
And then the mirror image, that's powerful too.
Very. Now we see but a poor reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face.
Yeah.
Think about old mirrors, polished metal, kind of dim, distorted.
So our current view is like that. Fuzzy, incomplete.
That's the idea. But then, face to face, full clarity. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. A complete shift.
Okay, so tying it all together, in our current partial state, we have these gifts and knowledge, but they're temporary.
Right, they'll pass away when the perfection comes.
But some things don't pass away. What remains?
The text is very clear. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. They aren't temporary. They endure into that future perfect state.
Faith, hope, and love, they last.
They last.
Oh, yeah.
But then comes the final verdict.
But the greatest of these is love.
Exactly. It sets up a hierarchy. Faith is crucial. Hope is essential. They both connect us to God and the future. But love. Love is presented as the ultimate.
Yeah.
The greatest.
Why the greatest? Is it because it's more active or because it defines that future state?
Probably both, It's the way we're meant to relate to each other and to God. And it's the quality that reflects the eternal reality most fully. It's the defining characteristic of that perfection.
Wow. So if you take this chapter seriously, it changes everything. All the things we might strive for, knowledge, abilities, even big sacrifices.
Secondary. They have their place, but they're temporary and meaningless if love isn't the foundation and the goal.
It really forces you to ask, okay, what am I really building my life on? What am I prioritizing?
Are you focused on the stuff that will fade away, or investing in faith, hope, and especially love, the things that last?
It's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling, then it's bedrock, the most real thing.
That's what the text argues. It's the enduring substance.
Yeah, so here's maybe something to chew on. If this chapter's definition of love, patient, kind, not self-seeking, keeping no record of wrongs is the standard, How often do our own actions truly align with that? It really makes you think.